Welcome back to day 73. This is Getting to Know God, and we are looking at the Children's Bible 370. It's not 370. 365 stories for every single day this year. We are on day 73, and we are looking at Balaam and his donkey, which can be found in Numbers 22 to 24. The Israelites moved nearer to Canaan again and set up camp not far from the border. Balak, chieftain king of the Moabites people, had heard that the Israelites were moving towards their promised land, and he was determined to stop them. Instead of mustering soldiers to fight them, he sent message to summon Balaam, a famous wise man. Tell him about the huge nation, King Balak ordered them, and asked him to come and pronounce a terrible curse on them. The messengers arrived at Balaam's house and gave him the message. They also showed him a huge bag of gold, which would be his if he obeyed the king. That night, God told Balaam that he must be persuaded to go and curse the people God had promised to bless. But when King Balak sent more messengers with even more gold, Balaam said yes. He set out his good-natured donkey, clippity-cloppeting, patiently beneath him. Suddenly the donkey stood stock still. Balaam beat her impatiently. His head was too full of gold for him to see what his donkey had seen. God's angel was standing in front of them, barring the path. The donkey crept forward, then squeezed up close to the wall to get out of the angel's way. Balaam's foot was crushed, and with a cry of pain and anger, he gave his poor donkey another good beating. A third time the angel stood in the path. This time the frightened animal lay right down. Then Balaam flew into a rage. He beat the donkey over and over again. Suddenly, to his amusement, he heard his own quiet, patient little donkey speak. "Why are you beating me?" she said. "How have I ever disobeyed you before?" Then Balaam's own eyes were opened, and he saw the angel for himself. The angel was stern. "You should not have beaten your donkey. She has saved your life by stopping when I told her. Now go on with your journey if you must, but say only what I say to you." When Balaam reached King Balak, he made careful preparations to put a curse on Israel, but Balaam could say only what God told him to say. He could not curse God's people, only call down blessings. In spite of all King Balak's promises of money, Balaam could not bring trouble on God's own people. What do you think of that then? In all things that are made to harm you are there for your good. God will always turn somebody's evil into something positive for you. A curse will never actually come towards you because God does not intend it to touch you. He won't allow bad things to happen to you unless it's part of his plan. And this is a perfect illustration of man's desire to hurt and curse another, but God's plan overrules everything. So be rest assured that in God's hands you are protected, in God's eyes you are important, and in God has a plan for you, a plan not to harm you but to prosper you. God bless.